I'm David Foster, the Executive Director of the Blue-Green Alliance, which is a national partnership of 2 environmental organizations, 8 labor unions with about 8.5 million members around the country, but we're located right here in Minneapolis. And I'm delighted that we are together with the mayors of our 2 cities to announce the unveiling of an important new Joint Cities marketing program. And I must say that I'm especially glad to be in the old Carter Day Foundry, because when I first went to work in Minneapolis many years ago, it was in a Northeast Minneapolis foundry. I think the buildings and businesses, the businesses are largely gone, the buildings are still here. So I can't imagine a more appropriate place to be talking about reuse and green manufacturing than in a building like this. The Think Green MSP marketing plan that we're unveiling today is a result of a multi-year project that the Blue-Green Alliance and the mayors of Minneapolis and Saint Paul have been working on, originally in response to the closing of the announced closing of the Ford motor plant, assembly plant, and are concerned that these jobs were not going to be replaced by a new generation of manufacturing jobs appropriate to the 21st century. I think we're increasingly aware that there is an economic race taking place in the world today over who is going to produce the green products and the clean energy infrastructure for the 21st century. The mayors of Minneapolis and Saint Paul are determined to win that race, and as such, they have been vigorous participants in the Mayor's Green Manufacturing Initiative to establish Minneapolis Saint Paul as a center for the manufacturing of those products in the next century. We have a good base to build on. The research of this project demonstrated that there are already over 20,000 manufacturing jobs in our region making green products for Minnesotans to use. We want to build on that base, and with the help and support of the state of Minnesota, the good work of our consultants at Greenmark, we are unveiling today the Think Green MSP marketing plan, and I want to briefly mention the 5 critical portions of that marketing plan before turning it over to Mayor Rybak and Mayor Coleman. First of all, we believe in buying green, and the mayors are committed to a joint procurement process in the cities that puts that principle into work using the power of local governments, not only their own cities, but around Minneapolis, Saint Paul, to create markets for the green products that we need in the 21st century. Secondly, they envision Greentown and using the building codes and building regulations of our 2 cities to create markets for energy-efficient building products. Goals such as creating 100,000 homes in Minneapolis that reduce their energy efficiency by 50% by 2020. Those are the kinds of initiatives that mayors can lead that create green products in those businesses. Repurposing our industrial zones so that just like the Carter Day plant that we're in today, we are using our old sites for new green purposes. Solving early stage financing, one of the critical issues that all our studies identified as important for building and expanding the green economy we already have. And finally, being the champions, as we call them, the Think leaders of the green economy, and bringing our green businesses together so that the image of who we are and who we intend to be and how we intend to win this economic race will be clear to the country and the world that we live in. So with that introduction, I'm very happy to introduce Mayor R.T. Rybak of Minneapolis. Mayor?
Thank you, David. Yeah. Thanks for your incredible leadership on all of this. What you're seeing right here is really nothing new for Northeast Minneapolis, for the east side of St. Paul, or for most American cities. It's a residential neighborhood. It's a place where somebody can walk to work, and things are being made here. Made in America, made in Minnesota, and used right here in Minnesota. That should be nothing new. It certainly isn't for our cities, but it is part of what I think many people have feared is becoming a lost America. Where will we make things? What will that have to say about where we work and what our neighborhoods are like? So here you see a good example of what the past has been like, but you also see what is very much about the future. A leading edge product, something that is sold in our stores, something that will hopefully be sold in stores across the country and hopefully internationally, being made right here in Minneapolis in harmony with the neighborhood and in harmony with the planet. That's what we're talking about here today. Now, several years ago, with the leadership of Dave Foster, we brought together the Steelworkers and the Sierra Club, the mayors of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and a remarkable coalition of people involved in green businesses from around the metropolitan area to say that we were really going to have an initiative that would put us in the forefront and keep moving forward. Now we're moving on to the second stage with the Think Green program. Think Green only makes sense if you see it on paper, because that INC in Think is very much about creating jobs. It's all wonderful for us to talk about what we're going to do with the planet, and we need to. But the economic forces have moved against the good work that we want to do with the environment until now. Now we're in a very different place, and that's why we're working together in these initiatives. We really appreciate the partnership with St. Paul. It's been great to share ideas with people. We recognize that St. Paul did a little bit better work than we did on some of the green buildings, and so we're learning from them. We're going to hopefully take some of the work that we've done on procurement and share that across different cities. We'll learn from each other as we go forward with that. I think one of the things we're especially proud of is that during that period of time, the city itself has put its money where its mouth is. We're now just about to open our new public works facility that will be LEED Platinum. And that's a heck of a high bar that we're really happy we have hit. We've taken local businesses' wood from the hood, which takes repurposed wood from trees that are unfortunately being torn down. That wood is being used in that product. The pavers are made here in the city of Minneapolis. Remarkable things are happening. But the good news is that this is just the beginning of some great work. And even better news is that Minneapolis isn't doing this alone. It's in a really exciting partnership that's now being taken to the next level with my partner, Mayor Chris Coleman.
And I would then like to introduce my neighboring mayor, Mayor Chris Coleman of St. Paul. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. You know, the truth of the matter is this is a strong region. We have a good manufacturing base. We have a lot of good manufacturing jobs that we have retained over the years. But when you look back several years to the initiative that began with Mayor Rybak and Dave and others to come together to try to figure out what we could do with the Ford plant if and when that facility closes, it is very clear that we are falling behind our competitors in other parts of the country. Other regions are moving further, farther, faster on not only manufacturing jobs, but also and specifically on green manufacturing jobs, green industries, green methodologies, et cetera. Governments aren't entrepreneurs, but governments have to be more entrepreneurial. We need to be able to figure out how we can create an environment. We're not going to create products, but we can create an environment where companies and entrepreneurs can thrive and do well. We are purchasers. That is one of the things that we definitely and very specifically can do, is start buying green products so that there is a built-in customer base for new businesses to start up. But more importantly, we can promote this region as a great place for young entrepreneurs, emerging entrepreneurs, people that have been in business for a long time to come manufacture their product and help promote those products across the region and across the country and hopefully across the globe. The company that we're here today visiting is just a great example. It's one example, as was mentioned earlier, of kind of reclaiming some of these old buildings. As any environmentalist can tell you, the most important thing that we can do is reuse old buildings as opposed to having to tear down and then reconstruct buildings. That fact in and of itself, reuse of existing building stock, is an incredibly important thing. So that's wonderful that we're here in this old building, that it's repurposed and creating new vitality in this neighborhood. There's a lot that we can do, but most importantly, our two cities, this entire region, our entire state needs to be out there at the forefront, letting everyone know that we will compete against any region in this country or in the globe on green manufacturing, in green design, and green purchasing. So we're very happy to be here. Thank you for your welcome, and look forward to continuing to grow this effort.
Thank you, Mayor Coleman. And now I'd like to introduce our host, Lori Brown, the co-founder of Renew Products.
Hi there. Thank you so much. What great company to be in with David Foster, the Blue-Green Alliance, and both mayors. We're very honored to have you all here. Restore Products has been creating jobs in the city of Minneapolis for almost 20 years now. We started with Restore the Earth store, which was the second environmental store in the U.S. where we did green retailing and brought products to consumers through that store. We've always been a little bit ahead of our time, but we've always taken a little bit from the past forward with us. And from that store, we learned that customers will bring back their bottles and refill them. And we also learned we had a great green brand, probably one of two only at that time, to be making environmentally safe cleaning products for consumers. So we've continued to grow that brand now to several hundred stores in 18 states. We have a strategic relationship with Copper Cosmetics here, the building that you're in, to make our products. It was important to have them made locally. They've helped us have a quality product. And to build on that, and always having one foot in the future, in 2001 I decided that we needed to find a way to bring our refillable cleaning products to the world with our Restore Refill Station, which you see over there, which we now have 4 patents on the refill station. We've commercialized it and tested it with our Restore brand in Minneapolis Saint Paul stores and Whole Foods and several other states. And now we're speaking with some of the largest cleaning product manufacturers, beverage manufacturers, and retailers in the world who are vetting the technology over the past several years to refill their products in grocery stores. So our goal, and where we see another source of green manufacturing jobs, hopefully in the near future, with a test hopefully early next year, will be Restore Refill stations in grocery stores throughout America. That's our vision. We hope to make a dent in some of the 4 million plastic bottles that consumers throw away every hour, when what we've learned is that a good plastic bottle with a good label will last at least 8 years. We've tested it for, so thank you.
And now if you have any questions for any of our speakers, we'll take those. And seeing none, feel free to continue shooting some of the film or talk to us individually. Thank you very much.